economic growth, as well as manageable exchange rate pressures.
The stable, relatively low inflation outturn primarily reflects the end of the impact of previous price increases for regulated items such as bus and taxi fares, and no new such increases, which offsets higher food inflation. Moreover, the exchange rate, imported inflation, and private sector's expectations of future inflation have been fairly stable.
BOJ Governor Richard Balz. That's where we end today's conversation. I'm Warren Bertram. Thanks for listening. Join us again next week for another edition of Get the Facts. Get the Facts.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
10:01.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Friday. It's Friday, May 30, 2025. And if you are listening just before I came on and you heard that time signal, it was not a minute after 10. It's after 9. So don't adjust your clocks. Don't get worried. It's after 9. That was an error on my part. So it's now 2 minutes after 9 on this here Friday morning, Friday, May 30, 2025, the penultimate day in the month of May. Yes, people, I eat that May done by Sunday. June are looking at our face. And then, once the summer come, then you quint back to school, and then that just means Christmas. So start this off on a tree, on a light, on something them, because it's almost time for Feliz Navidad. But it's Friday morning. And I want to say good morning to all of you who are listening on our 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9 on the FM dial. Top of the morning also to those who are listening and watching on our YouTube channel. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. That's Nationwide 90 FM LIVE with a number 2 beside that. I want to say good morning to Errol Townsend first in the YouTube chat this morning. David Nebar, good morning to you. Monica Callum, good morning. MS, top of the morning to you. Jean Sellers, Sonia Hutton, Zazzy Girl, hey girl, good morning to all of you. Ines Campbell Murray, Shirley Augustine, good morning to you. Sean Atkinson, Monique Hunter, good morning. CG, yes, CG, it's after 9, thank you. And Faye, thank you so much, it's after 9. Yes, thank you guys for the correction. Is this singer Jay Jayut? Good morning. And all the others over there on YouTube. Top of the morning to you. If you're listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, good morning to you and those on our website. The Listen Now option there. Top of the morning to you as well. Just before we go into JPS Cares, I'm asking Smithy, who called us yesterday. Smithy, who called from Rooms District in... Was it South Manchester? South Manchester. The number you gave us, apparently it's incorrect. So I need you to give us a call back so that we can get your correct number so that JPS can reach out to you and fix that problem before it's too late. All right? So Smithy, if you're listening or anybody knows Smithy from South Manchester, from Rooms District, please tell Smithy to give us a call back. Please, urgently. All right. It's a Friday morning, which means it's time for JPS Cares.
The hour between 9 and 10 is brought to you by JPS, powering what matters.
lives. And through it all, there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, our energy that lights the sky.
JPS, powering what matters.
All right. And inside JPS Cares this morning, JPS will be caring, of course. This morning, we have our usual guest, JPS's customer area manager for the customer service area manager for the East, Ruth Lynn Johnson, and she's going to be talking to us about hurricane preparedness. Yes, and the smart meter rollout. So, good morning, Ruthin.
Good morning.
How are you?
Talking about smart meter rollout today?
Oh, that's not what we're talking about?
We're talking about hurricane preparedness.
Oh, hurricane preparedness, but not the smart meter rollout.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about it last week. I was wondering if we were going to talk about it again, but that's okay. We're talking about hurricane preparedness this week.
Right.
All right. And the start of the hurricane season is like literally up on us, like it's right behind us, isn't it? Coming soon or ahead of us.
Today's what?
Today's May 30.
30.
Yeah.
It starts in 2 days.
Yeah, so it's ahead of us. Right, we can stretch and touch it.
We can touch it.
Yes,
and we're
indeed.
hoping that it doesn't come.
Well, the season will come. We don't know what the season will come with. We hope it will be a calm one for us here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So you can go right ahead, Ruthlyn.
Right. So last week we spoke about how JPS is getting ready. Mm-hmm. We spoke about, the things that we're doing and how we're investing $17 billion and all these fancy things to make it exciting. And yes, Nora, you expressed some reservation. You're hoping to see that it happens. And I'm saying, yes, it's going to. But this week, I want to talk more about our customers to remind them that they need to get themselves ready and what do they need to do. So the first thing I want to say to our customers is that they need to build their emergency kit. Now, your emergency kit will contain a number of things, right? It contains all the things that you're going to likely need should a hurricane come and you are without power. First on that list is food. We need food, right? We need food. So you need at least 3 days supply of non-perishable food. Food that doesn't need to go into a fridge because the possibility exists that you're not going to have electricity, so your refrigerator won't be working. So you need, the song that we know, the Gilbert song, Bully Beef, mash up your structure, and bully beef this, bully beef that. It is something that is going to be critical at that point in time. If it comes, you're going to need a lot of tin food. So yes, make sure you have your non-perishable food, your crackers, those things that don't need to go into a refrigerator. And you need at least 3 days supply because probably that is the amount of time you will not have electricity for.
Right.
And for some persons it will be even longer than that, but at least 3 days, right? You need your battery or solar-powered radio. Now, I know that our young people I know you're a young person. I know that young people kind of have this, this thing like, you have a what? A radio? What is a radio? And they carry on with themselves. I've seen them and heard them.
Yeah.
But you're going to find that during or after a hurricane, a radio becomes your best friend. It is how some people actually say they know that somebody else is alive in the world and they're not just alone. When you're listening to that radio and you hear Nora's voice coming through, talking to you, keeping you company because you live alone.
Yeah.
And the wind is raging out there and all kinds of things are happening. And you really feel isolated and you want to have that voice that tells you that, the rest of us are still here and this is what is happening. It's your companion, so have your radio. Get your batteries, purchase your batteries, keep them there, and have your radio. And some people may have solar-powered radios, which probably will need to be charged in the day when the sun is shining. And sometimes after hurricanes, you might have a lot of rain, so you might not see a lot of sunshine. So I prefer a battery-powered radio. So make sure you get your battery-powered radio, right? Have extra batteries as well, because if you're in a situation where the outage lasts for quite a while, you might need to get extra batteries when the first set that you get, no longer works. So extra batteries and emergency bulbs are important as well. Emergency bulbs are very interesting. You can have, I don't know if you have any of them, Nora. Those bulbs where you can walk around with them and you can actually touch them and the light comes on.
Yes.
They need to be charged for up to a point, and then you can use them later on. So you can have your emergency bulbs as well and your emergency lamps. Those, I have some emergency lamps that I've had for years, and they use batteries, and all I do is take out the batteries, and whenever the power goes, I just put the batteries in, turn them on, press that little knob, and it comes on. And I've had them for years and years and years, and they're still good. So see if you can get some of them. I got them in some of those big hardware stores that we have in Jamaica. See if you can find some of those emergency lamps as well. Your flashlights are also important for your lighting. Get your flashlights and keep them. And a first aid kit with at least 7 days supplies of medication. You need your first aid kit because you never can tell, some persons you might get a little cut or a little nick or something might happen during the storm, and you may need your bandages, you may need, a little splint or something. Have your first aid kit and keep it safe. Don't put it somewhere where it can get flooded and float out the house. Right? Keep your first aid kit in a safe place and make sure you have your medication in there as well. And for those who do take medication, you have to make sure that your medication is kept safely.
Yes.
Because you need it. You don't want anything to happen. You may not be able to get out and go to a doctor. Hygiene and sanitation items, those are critical as well. You want to make sure that you have those because situations can become a little bit testy following a hurricane. The place is wet and messy. So you want to make sure that you have those things, have the pipe, there's no water in the pipe, so things may not be flushing nicely. You want to make sure you have your sanitation items there to take care of all your needs, right? Waterproof pouches for important documents. Well, generally, any important documents that you have should really be stored in something that is waterproof. Plastic bags even can work because just under normal circumstances, you don't want your documents to get wet because if they get wet, you lose them. And these are your critical documents which you can't get back in one day just so. So you want to make sure you put them up safely, and especially during a hurricane, make sure that you have them safely stored in a waterproof pouch or container because if your house becomes flooded, at least you can save your documents, right? So make sure you do that. You can also store them digitally. Those who are not afraid of digitization, you can take pictures of your documents and keep them in a nice folder with maybe a password-protected folder so that you can find them easily without, them getting lost. A power bank for phones and small electronics. If you have a power bank, then fine. If you don't have one, I suggest you go and purchase one because power banks are great. I use them when I'm going on hikes. Because after you get up to a certain point when you go on a hike and there's no contact to the network system, you find that very, very quickly you lose charge on your phone, and then you need a power bank to help you. So get a power bank because it's perfect for keeping you charged up so you can actually be on your phone to get information and find out what's happening around you. All right, am I stealing the break? Or it's too early?
No, man, you're right on time. On time. Yes, we are up on the break. So let's take the break. When we come back, we have more JPS Cares. We're giving you some hurricane preparedness tips.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:15.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, our energy that lights the sky.
JPS, powering what matters.
What's the standing of the JLP and the PNP in Southeast St. Elizabeth? Southwest St. Elizabeth? Western St. Mary? And where do the parties stand nationally? What's the gap, if any, between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Opposition Leader Mark Golding? Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 a.m. for the findings from the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools.
Good morning, good morning. You are here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton, and it's a Friday morning, which means it's JPS Cares, and we're joined by JPS's Customer Service Area Manager for the East, Ruthlyn Johnson, and she is talking to us, well, giving you some hurricane preparedness tips. It's very important because, guys, if you didn't know, the hurricane season is upon us. Hurricane season will start on June 1. That is Sunday. So after tomorrow, then the next day, that day is the start of the hurricane season. And you got to be prepared because, you know, with climate change and all that's happening, they're always telling us that this season is expected to be very active. And we never know what can come. So be prepared. You can go right ahead, Ruthlyn.
All right, thank you. By the way, Nora, you know, I'm going to have to end at 9:30 this morning, right?
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Right?
Yeah,
okay, right. So next thing, create a family emergency plan. Now, persons need to know that you need to plan ahead. For everything in this life, I always say you need to be conscious of what you're doing. Don't just live in a willy-nilly fashion. Yeah. Put together a family emergency plan. So you need to check the Odd Times website and determine what is the nearest emergency shelter to you, to where you live. Where do you need to run to? Where do you need to jog to, walk to, should things get really hectic in your space that, you know, where you live? Mm-hmm. You need to find out what's the nearest shelter to you. You need to make arrangements for the elderly and persons with disabilities, because the possibility exists that maybe you need to move them from where you are. Let's say I have a relative that lives in a place called Peters Rock, like way up in the hills of St. Andrew, Nora. Mm. If a hurricane is coming and you have somebody there with a disability, you know you need to take that person down on the flat to somewhere else, because most likely we're going to have, those roads are going to be blocked, you're going to have landslides, trees are going to fall on lines, things that are going to be in the way that creates a hazard. You won't be able to move around. It means you need to make sure that people who need to be in specific places, closer maybe to a hospital or closer to a place, a point where they're safer, where things are less likely to be, you know, hazardous, you need to make sure that you move them. Get them to that point from early. And, of course, don't forget your pets. I know our pet lovers are serious about their animals. So don't forget your pets when you're purchasing food and stuff for yourself. Make sure you purchase their food. And if they need medication as well, make sure you also get their medication. And sit down with your family and work out what are we going to do. In case of a hurricane, what are we doing? Are we taking Grandma X place? Are we staying? I'm going to stay with the house because, you know, sometimes somebody says, I will stay. I will go down with the house. If it's going to go down, I want to stay here to make sure that everything is fine.
Go down with the house?
I've heard people say all kinds of things. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen where they've sent a bus for some people in some places and they said they're not going?
Well, that's true. That's true. That is very true.
With their house, yes. So there are those who will say, okay, the children can go, the wife and child can go, but I will say, whatever it is, make sure you have a plan of some sort. It shouldn't just happen to you and then you're running around trying to figure, what we're going to do with this one and what we're going to do with that one. No. Work out the plan from early and make sure you have it and everybody knows what the plan is. Then you want to secure and strengthen your house, right? So you want to inspect and you want to look at everything around your house to make sure that everything is fine. You trim your trees. I won't even get into that today because trimming trees is that's my pet peeve.
Yeah.
Trim the trees. Make sure that you trim them now. because you don't want them to become a hazard to your property. So trim the trees if they're near the power lines because they are going to cause a problem for you. Call JPS if they have already grown around the line so that we can turn the power off so you can get somebody to trim the trees safely. Anchor outdoor items. You need to walk around your house and you're looking to see if there are things like, your bin is there, the tank is there. You have little bits and pieces lying around your house that can become missiles. The wind can take them and whip them into things that may break your window and then allow water to come into your house, or that can cause damage to you. Mm-hmm. Make sure you put those things away or you tie them down somewhere, especially if we really know that a hurricane is coming. Then you want to tie them down or put them on the inside or something, but don't leave things outside your house that can become, a missile for you. We don't want that to happen. Check your roof, check your gutters, check your hurricane shutters. It makes no sense if you have hurricane shutters and when the day comes when the hurricane is coming and you're trying to move it, the accordion ones, you're trying to move it to lock it, then you realize, you don't know where the key is. It's locked in position, but where did I put the key? Or you're looking for they have those that they put up, where you put up over your windows. You're looking for the bolts to bolt them down, but you don't know where you put the bolts. And then the hurricane comes and you have hurricane shutters and you cannot use them because you are not prepared. So make sure you go and find out where those things are right now. Open the accordion ones. I have those, which is why I talk about them. I constantly, like every month, I just open them and move them so I can they're sliding along nicely. And I make sure that I have the key and stuff. So you want to do these things because you want to be prepared. You don't want the hurricane to come upon you.
And it sees up.
You realize that things are just not what they should be. Right?
Yeah.
If you are going to install generators, make sure you get a licensed electrician to install the generators. People, please note that generators emit carbon monoxide. You don't see it. It's a gas it's invisible. If you get into contact with it, you won't be able to tell us about it, right? Because you won't be here anymore. So you don't want to have a generator in your house because it will actually emit that gas in your space, in that space in your house, and then it's going to cause you much harm. So get a licensed electrician to install it, and he will know where to put it outside, and he will know how far away from the house he should put it, because it can be dangerous, even though it's a wonderful device that's going to help you to have power. It can also result in backfeed. If it's not installed properly, it can cause what we call backfeed, where we have power coming onto our lines from your generator. So it puts power onto the lines, and then when our linemen are working on the lines, then they encounter what they never expected, power on the lines, and then that is another problem for us and for you, because you don't want to be the one who would have caused the demise of another person. So you want to make sure that you get your generators installed properly. All right? Generally speaking, prepare for power outages. I want you to always remember that power outages are likely to happen when a hurricane comes. It's not a normal situation, and so even with the best intentions and all the planning that you do and all the planning that we do as JPS, you may still have power outages, so just be ready. So you want to remember to have your kits, remember to stock your flashlights, your bulbs, and your power banks. Get a cooler and pack it with ice to preserve your food and medicine so that you can have that going for a few days. Clearly label your circuit breaker. I should ask you, Nora, is your circuit breaker labeled? Have you labeled your breaker? I think I've spoken about it before. Where you go around and determine which ones are for the bathroom, the kitchen, Have you done it?
I don't know if they're labeled. I don't think they are, but I just think my father know which one is which.
I want to, if your father gone to foreign and something.
Well, that's true. Maybe I feel like I said this before, that maybe we should label them, and I don't think they're labeled.
Okay, so I'm going to make an appointment, and I'm going to come to your house, and we're going to label them.
There we go.
Yes, because mine I labeled them. Because it's, when something trips in your house, for example, the other day, I don't know what was happening, and there was a trip, and the thing that the one that the microwave was plugged into tripped. And it was very easy. I just went to the breaker box, and I just looked for microwave, and just flipped that one. We'll go up again.
That's
you don't
true.
have to be flipping all
That's
of them,
true.
trying to figure which one is which one, which one is which one. You just know which one it is, you just go. And the thing is, by the way, for those who are wondering, how do you label them? your breaker box, it came with, if you've never seen it, it came with little strips of paper that you're supposed to paste onto the little slots in the breakers that matches the switches. And that's where you would write what each one is for. So if you've not seen them, if the electrician took the bag with the labels, then I guess you'd have to come up with some labels on your own. But yes, label your circuit breaker to allow for quick switching in case of an emergency and you want to shut down your power. So if you need to shut down the power in your house, you just need to go down to the breaker box and you just need to flip the main switch. So you need to have the one that's the main switch labeled. People are going to go and they don't know which one is the main switch, and you need it to be turned off immediately, which is why we want you to label them so you know what to do. And once again, for my female friends, stop being afraid of the breaker. It's not going to do you any harm. It is a device that protects your house, trips, shuts down the power, prevents power from coming to your place and from causing you any damage. The breaker is your friend. It's not your enemy. I know a lot of ladies are afraid of the breaker. Get familiar with it. It's not going to do you anything. All right?
Yeah.
And keep cash on hand in case the card machines are not working because there's probably no power or they got flooded out or something. But keep some cash if it comes close to the point where we know there is going to be a hurricane. What time are we at now?
All right. We are almost to the 9:30 break.
Yes.
But we have about 3 minutes, so I don't know if you want to
So I'll just wrap up with my last point, and then I probably can you go to a break, and I probably can do 2 quick giveaways, and then I say bye-bye.
All right.
So we just want to tell persons to stay connected to JPS, before, during, and after the storm. Make sure that you have JPS's phone number, which is 888-225-5577 or 888-935-5577. And make sure that we have your phone numbers as well and your current email address on your account. So share that with us as well, and make sure you have ours if you need to make contact with us or if we need to make contact with you. And follow us on all our social media sites. Our handle is at MyJPS Online. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. All right, that's it for today.
All right. So that's a hurricane preparedness tips for you from JPS. Please ensure that you are ready for the hurricane season. I know my technical operator said it before the break. We are Jamaicans, and we always wait till the last minute to do everything. So even when the storm is upon us and the wind is blowing, is that time we're up on the roof and knock and I do all kind of things, rain and drizzle.
Yes.
Do not wait. Just do what you need to do from now. We take a break, and when we come back, we have some giveaways for you.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30.
Outperform, outlast. We top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fan select tools, free parts and free repairs. 3 parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61124. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive now.
What's the standing of the JLP and the PNP in Southeast St. Elizabeth? Southwest St. Elizabeth? Western St. Mary? And where do the parties stand nationally? What's the gap, if any, between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Opposition Leader Mark Golding? Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 a.m. for the findings from the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. It's JPS Cares this morning. We're joined by Ruthlyn Johnson. She's Customer Service Area Manager for the East at JPS. And she just gave us a number of hurricane preparedness tips for this hurricane season and all hurricane seasons. And we're going to do some giveaways before Ruthlyn has to go for those of you who were listening. We already have callers on the line. Are we doing one for the phone lines and one for YouTube?
One for the phone and one for YouTube, yes.
All right. The first caller is not Loy. There was somebody before Loy. Veronica. Veronica, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm great. Good. Morning, Veronica. I have a very easy question for you. Okay. Tell me, when is the Atlantic hurricane season in Jamaica?
June 1st to November 30.
That's it?
Yes.
Oh!
She's brilliant.
Awesome. Congratulations, Veronica.
Thank you. That's a $10,000 voucher for you.
Wow. Awesome. That was 10, yes, 10.
Yes, and then I have a 10,000 for the online.
All right.
Team.
Stay on the line, Veronica.
First person to tell me, why is it important to trim trees and branches before a hurricane?
Why is it important to trim your trees and the branches before the hurricane? For $10,000 voucher from YouTube. All right. So, the first answer is an answer to the question that wasn't asked. Okay. So, Amos Juice says, power banks, tape windows, check your breakers, standby generators, and flashlights. And then Amos Juice comes back and says, it can fire.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think we're going to accept that answer. And then Corrine.
Ahead of his time.
Right. And then Corrine says they might get tangled in the line.
Yes.
Are we accepting that? I think so. They can get tangled in the power line, and when that happens, then you don't want them to start pulling on the line and then affect your power.
That's a key thing. When it becomes tangled, it's going to break the lines, and they also could fall on your home and cause damage to your home as well. But definitely they can break the power lines. And then that means that, especially if your service wire is broken, then it means it's going to take longer for you to get back power.
All right. So,
Corrine
is the winner of that $10,000 voucher from JPS. And you are going to have to go, Ruthlyn.
Yes, I have to go.
Yes, indeed. No problem. You take care.
Have a good day. Go get your hurricane kits ready, guys.
All right.
Next week.
All right. So that was, it's still JPS Cares, but we're going to take your calls, especially if you have any JPS related matters. Today is the best day because today is a day that, the JPS people might be listening. So you might want to give us a call today. I did see a comment earlier in the chat about power line, light pole, but I don't know why I'm not seeing it anymore. But there was someone saying the poles between, or street light between 70 something and 70 something. I don't see it anymore. But if that person is still on the chat, you can send a message again so that I can see it, and Michelle can take note and give it to JPS for you. But the numbers to call: 876-630-9371. There's also 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. And I'm going to use the opportunity again to say to Smithy that she did call back. Okay, Smithy called back, so we have Smithy's correct contact information, so we can give that to JPS. The other thing I wanted to say, or the other thing I wanted to remind you of, and it came from a caller we had yesterday, the trees and trimming of the trees. That was one of the tips given by Ruth Lynn today, and I am saying again that if your trees are not yet up within the power lines or tangled with the power lines, go and trim your trees. Trim your trees from now. If your trees are just a little bit close to or getting there, trim the trees from now. And if you are thinking about planting a tree, do not do it close to the power line. Find somewhere else in the yard to plant the mango tree or to plant whichever other kind of tree you're thinking of planting. Okay? Do not plant it close to the power line. We have a caller on the line, Denise Dainty. Good morning.
Hi, morning, Nora. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. A little nervous though with the approaching hurricane season because there's a neighbor a few doors from me that has a monster of a tree. It's entangled with the JPS power lines, and some time ago JPS came and did some trimming. They are supposed to get rid of the tree, and I'm not sure what's going on. It's a huge hazard. It's now entangled again. I wanted to find out, but I realized Woodfin is gone. What is the procedure? What can a community do in a case like this? Because we don't see the owner don't seem to be the owner is not the person who lives there. And so we're going through many third and fourth parties, and we don't seem to be getting anywhere. But as it is now, there's work for JPS to do. But in terms of getting rid of the tree, can the community, what can they do? What can we do?
Getting rid of a tree on someone's private property, is it's a difficult thing. That's something that I think the property owner would have to decide on. When it comes to trimming the tree, though, that is also the responsibility of the property owner. However, if, as you said, it is approaching or it is close to the power line, or the power lines are already tangled within the tree, then you will have to call JPS to cut it. I'm assuming you could call JPS if you see the need for it to be cut, if the property owner is not keen on getting that done. I'm assuming you could call. It's on your road, and you're assuming it will affect your power also if it brings down the line with it. So you can call and let them know. But when JPS trims the tree, though, after that, it is up to the property owner to keep maintaining that trimming and limbing so that it doesn't grow into the line. If it's a massive tree, then it's gonna be difficult to just get rid of the entire tree. That's an expensive task to take on.
That's what I'm hearing that the persons responsible have said. But we have, there are members of the community who have said, listen, we will all put together to get this monster down, because in the long run, God forbid anything happens, we're all going to suffer, So we are all ready, but they don't see that. I mean, when the owner is not impacted or wouldn't be impacted because they don't live there, and so I think right now there is very little concern.
Well, if if you are so willing to put together to contribute towards the removal of the tree, then I think you can probably maybe see if you can get a direct contact for the owner so that you can impress upon the person more to make it more clear that we're gonna do this and we're willing to do this, and set a timeline or say by next week we can get you this amount of money. Even if you can get a quote from someone for removing the tree, just let the person know that you're serious about this. Maybe it will happen better that way, but you will first have to get the limbs removed from the power lines. So you can call JPS and get that part done, which you said they already did at one point, right?
Some time ago they did that because last year on the approach of Beryl, I called personally, and I know another neighbor who called, and JPS didn't come. And I mean, this is a year later, and so I was wondering what's the route. I really wanted to get routing to find out, because apparently just calling and explaining that the wires are entangled in the tree doesn't get it done. I'm not sure. I'm gonna call.
No, I'm gonna ask you though to stay on the line. I think JPS might respond more favorable when it is the property owner themselves who call, but stay on the line since the situation has been explained here. Maybe JPS will better understand and give us the your name and contact number, and if you have the contact number for the property owner, that would be good too, and the address, so that we can give that to JPS and see if they can assist. And I hope you'll take my advice and go further with your offer to assist with removing the tree and see how your neighbor responds.
Of course, will do.
All right, then take care. Nora. Yeah, man, no problem. Who else do we have? Levy, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I am not too bad, Levy. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I answered a call about this situation already now. All right. So you say from Raytown there, sir, go straight to Harborview roundabout. So I counted the other day. So I know that I missed out some of the pole, but I count 68 light pole, right? Right, and so the light them double because the pole planted right in the median there, and one light over the other side, one over the other side. So if I count 68, then I say you would double that because it's 2 light on a pole. And Nora, like it, I believe say about 6 of them are work.
Where is
one? From Raytown to Harborview roundabout. The whole other stretch, work on the Richard Cement Company there, sir, going up about 2 light a work.
Yeah.
The whole other so dark, just the other night, till I was driving, so I have to put on my fog light. Right, and the police pull me over because the rule, the law, them say you can't drive with fog light if the vehicle not come with it. So I explain things, so the whole of the church is so dark, sir. And things like that, and him say, yes, him understand because him work the area, so like him I'll give me a chance. More the whole of the stretch is dark, like, and just like it's a busy thoroughfare. So the next one again, Nora, from the roundabout going to Harborview driving, you know where the driving used to be?
Yes.
Right, the whole of the stretch too, I want about 3 of the light at work. One night in this month, just in time, right in the vicinity of Caribbean Terrace, sir, car licked down a young man there. Yeah, man, I mean, like I feel so like him not make it because blood was coming to his head and things.
Oh, no.
Because the whole of them places are dark, and I don't know why. But I don't tell me that people for the light. I see the light them in it, but them not work. Like the bulb them in it, but them not working. All of that stretcher, like when you look on a new stretcher again, or where them do like a bulby stretcher go straight. A few of the light them are work and them just put them in the other day.
I'm when I hear these complaints these days, I'm not quick to sometimes blame JPS because you know what happens sometimes, Levy? Our own fellow Jamaicans find whatever valuables they can find up there within these lights. I don't know what copper or if it's the bulb or whatever they steal from it that causes the light to be out. Remember one time lights were out somewhere, at a stoplight. And you know what was the result? Theft of something from the main box that powers the light. So sometimes I'm not so quick to say, JPS or whatever. While the lights have been out for a while, and I've spoken about this before, that stretch from Raytown to Harborview, all of that stretch, there are some areas that are very dark. Only a few of those lights are working.
Yeah, man. When you're going right up to Bayshore right after so. All of them places are pitch dark in the morning.
And I know.
Drive at night and I just turn off the lights for a second and just click it up. Pitch dark.
I know. But you see, sometimes we are our own downfall. Our fellow JPS probably go fix the light tomorrow, and by next week couple of them missing again. And these things are not cheap. These things are not cheap. Yeah, but sometimes it's not the bulb, Sometimes it's not the bulb. It's whatever copper cable somewhere within it or something else that they're stealing. And I'm in no way, please don't get me wrong, I'm in no way saying that JPS mustn't fix it. It needs to be fixed because the light is needed on the road.
Yes.
But I am imploring our fellow citizens, stop spite your fellow man.
So now one of the next thing to Nora, why am I not the JPS 100% of the blame? Like you said, that stretch from heart. Yeah, man, the same stretch matter about. What is from heart at the stoplight to the roundabout? The whole of the stretch are black spot. Every week a vehicle run off and maybe later one of them fall. They are lick out the tree from out of the knee. Every week in Nora can be traverse that place 2 times a day.
Yeah.
2 times a day. And at least one day out of every week, vehicle run off, and maybe the little one of the light pole, look out the tree from out of the needle. Yeah, that whole of that stretch I want for black spot. So people don't really know about because the road uneven, bouncy. So if you're a driver and you don't have your hand firm on the steering and you reach one of them little uneven, you just run you off into the curve wall and I just say
But JPS, we're up on the break, so we have to go to the break. Like very soon.
Man. Right,
but man, thank you so much, Levy, for calling. Raytown to Harborview, man, it's a dark stretch, and I've spoken about it before. And a suggestion, maybe we need to put some cameras up there somewhere, somehow, or close to them, so that when them go up there, go thief for them, when them think them need from it, we catch them and put them up and plaster them all over social media so we can find them. So fix the light, them JPS, but then maybe we need to put some cameras to catch the thieves. All right? We'll take a break and come back with more.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:49.
Yes, me get the last cheese. Taste the beat. Brothers and sisters, at the end of Easter service, we have cheese. Taste the beat. But one day we get no bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Serve, sell me some bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Why, this looking nice with some tasty cheese. Taste the beat. Could I have some cheese, please? Taste the beat. Make we get on real bad with the tasty cheese, boy. Taste the beat with tasty cheese.
The hour between 9 and 10 was brought to you by JPS. Powering what matters.
What's the standing of the JLP and the PNP in Southeast St. Elizabeth? Southwest St. Elizabeth? Western St. Mary? And where do the parties stand nationally? What's the gap, if any, between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Opposition Leader Mark Golding? Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 a.m. for the findings from the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, June 3 from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, advancing justice towards a safer Jamaica. Also, you can view the presentation on Nationwide 90 FM's YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, and also on the Ministry's YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages at MOJ Official JM, as well as on PBCJ and JIS YouTube channel. So, tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, June 3 from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is sponsored by the Ministry of Justice, balancing rights and responsibilities.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We're on the final stretch of the Consumer Hour now, and we're taking your calls. Anna Kay, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Anna Kay.
Good morning.
You can go ahead, Anna Kay. What's on your mind this morning?
No, I have a high JPS bill that I'm unable to hear because, number one, I don't think I've burned so much current because now based on the type of work that I do, I wasn't at home, and currently I am unemployed. Reason being because I met in an accident and received minor injuries. Yeah.
And this is an unusual bill? Is it this the first time it's coming this high?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is the bill you got this month?
Well, not this month because I've been working over 3 months now.
So which bill are you querying?
Well, I'm querying those that add up to that amount because, as I said, based on the type of work that I do, I wasn't home during the course of the day. And I'm even getting some high bills because the bill is disconnected for $74,000.
Your electricity is now disconnected for $74,000?
Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm trying to understand, is it that your bill came to a certain amount on average over a period of time and then 1 month it just went all the way up? Or is this an accumulation over months?
Accumulation over months that I wasn't working, and even maybe about 1 or 2 months before I met in the accident.
Oh, and you're saying you're unable to pay that sum right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you gone to a JPS office to sit and see if they can work something out for you?
Well, they were saying I must pay at least half and then they will work out some payment plan.
Right.
But I'm unable to even get it out.
Oh. I'm not sure how else it can work out any different. That because that's what I was thinking, that they give you an amount to pay and then put you on a payment plan for the rest, but they already did that and you're still unable to do it. I don't know what else we could do to ask JPS. I'm not sure. Is it an estimated bill? Is it an actual bill?
I think I'll have to check the bill. I think it's a mixture of estimated and actual.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's anything else JPS can do. We can take your information and explain, put a brief explanation in our message to JPS as to what is happening with you. But since they already gave you a plan, I'm assuming that's the protocol. But I don't know if anything else can be done. But let's see. Let's take your information, give it to JPS, explain that you're unemployed at the moment. You're unable to pay even the half of that 74,000 at the moment. You're at home and still disconnected, and so you're asking for something else, where you can afford to pay at this time. So let's see if there's anything else that can be done. Just stay on the line, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
No guarantees though, since they already gave you a plan, but that's a difficult one there. Easton, good morning.
Yeah, morning. No.
Good morning.
All right, my problem is a banking one, right? I have a standing order with NCB to send my car payments to VM. The amount was debited from my account on the 29th of April. That is for the May payment. And I've called them, written to them, that's VM and NCB, and up to now, the amount hasn't been credited to my account as VM. And when I looked this morning, another payment was debited from my account now for the June payment. So I'm saying it's over a month now, and the May payment has not been credited to my account. Someone from VM, I spoke with him yesterday. She took my name and number and she promised to call me back. I have not received a call, and I've written to VM 3 times, no response.
All right. Just explain one more time for me what's happening.
Well, they have a standing order to pay my car loan from 2018. But they debited my account on the 29th of April, and up to now, that amount hasn't been credited to my account at Victoria Mutual. It is normal. The loan is due on the 2nd of each month. So when my salary goes to NCB, they send the money to VM. And that was taken out on the 29th of April, and up to now it has not been credited. NCB just took another one now for the June payment, and I'm just going to see when that will be credited. But the one that they took out in April to be credited in May, it has not been credited. When I speak to NCB, they said the money was sent. I spoke to VM. At one time they told me NCB didn't send them enough money on the list. They have a list of customers they would send over payments for. So I'm saying this is supposed to be sorted out between the two banks. How they know whose account to be credited if an amount was sent and it wasn't enough? If it wasn't enough, it's a simple thing to send a difference. So I don't understand.
And I don't even know which bank to say we should go to, because you don't know who.
Well, it's NCB arbitrary and VM.
Yeah, NCB is sending the money and VM is receiving. But where is the difficulty happening? Where is the problem? Is it NCB? Because NCB told you they sent it, but VM is not seeing it. So where is the money? That's my
what
thing.
I'm saying. But you see, I have written to them and I've spoken to people, and they took my number yesterday, said they were going to call me back. I didn't hear anything, and
Have you tried going in branch to just sit with someone?
Not as yet, because I think I've been doing this from 2018 without a problem, and I think this is something that can be sorted out easily.
But it's not being sorted out easily, is it?
But the thing about it, when they want to give you a credit card, they call you, and in no time, Tara is here with the card. You understand me? So it's a service level I'm talking about. It can't take 1 month for a simple payment to be credited electronically.
I understand. And VM is saying they are not seeing the money.
Well, it's not that they got a list, but they are saying at the time they didn't receive enough money. But I'm saying if you get a list from NCB with insufficient funds, that is something for the two banks to sort out. How do they know who is account to be credited? It's not my payment alone,
Right, but wouldn't the amount for each person be on that list?
That's what.
It's not a lump sum.
Right, with a lump sum plus what they have.
But you have a list of the specific amounts, I'm sure.
Right, exactly.
How you going to know how much money to put in each account?
Exactly. So somebody told me that they cannot credit anything from the list if they're not from the bank, Somebody who I spoke to independently, because there's an issue.
So they haven't credited any of those accounts because the money is insufficient.
No, I am not aware of it, but somebody who knows about these things, so they cannot credit anything because they would know. So I'm wondering how it takes so long for them to sort it out.
And this is happening from when?
From 29th of April, they took out the money. It is normally credited by even the 5th, even though it's due on the 2nd. I make sure I have enough cash in the account. So
they sent another month. They sent the other one yesterday.
They just debited my account yesterday, and now I don't know when it will be credited. So I'm going to look out for that also.
All right. Well, let's take your information, but I would say wait on this month to see what happens if the issue is corrected, because you would usually see it by probably a day.
About the 5th of June, it would be, because by the time they get it, and then, depends on when the weekend falls and all of that.
Okay. All right. So let's take your information, but I'm going to say just wait a little to see if it fixes, if the problem is fixed this month, and then let's see if not, then you can call back and
All right, no problem.
All right, that's where we're gonna have to leave it. I'm so sorry, I didn't even realize the time is gone. We are gonna have to wrap up now and make way for Cliff Hughes Online with Tyrone Reed.
The hour between 9 and 10 was brought to you by JPS, powering what matters.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton. The Universal Service Fund is helping Jamaicans stay connected with free Wi-Fi spots across the island. Visit usf.gov.jm to find a location near you.